Thought of the day. Joe Biden. And if you voted for him and don't regret it, you too. Today's the day that I turned my truck in. I between the shops and the insurance and everything else that goes with it, the payments, I went broke. Put it mildly, I just went broke. I turned my truck in. Love my truck. I tried my best. Today's the worst day of my life.
I don't give up. Is this you? Yeah, that's you.
I said what I said, Joe Biden. Say one good thing about Joe Biden. He'll be dead soon, and then...
May you forever live in this energy that you created for yourself. May you have the day you deserve for the rest of your life.
It's financially as well as emotionally. It takes a toll.
Vincent, you voted for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did.
He thought the Trump administration was going to focus solely on deporting criminals. It seems immigration officials, he says, are just trying to meet quotas now. 6 Nicaraguan men who on May 27th were detained along US 1 in Sugarloaf Key on their way to a job. Their immigration attorney says it should not have happened because 5 of the 6 have their paperwork in order with pending asylum cases. Vincent Scardina is the owner of the roofing company where they worked. He's owned it 37 years.
You become their friends, just not an employer, but a friend. And you see what happens to their family. It's quite a shock.
Given his support for the president, we asked what he would tell the commander-in-chief if he had a chance.
What happened here? This situation is just totally, just blatantly not at all what they said. Emotionally.
Get those crocodile tears away from me! Stop acting, bro. Stop acting like you didn't know. Come on. Come on. You just didn't think it would happen to you.
50% new tariff on Brazil. Brazil had a $6.8 billion surplus last year. In fact, the U.S. hasn't had a trade deficit with Brazil since 2007. I mean, almost 2 decades. So why are we putting a punishing 50% tariff on Brazil?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel once again. So guys, a lot of Maga supporters, they are really suffering right now. We have been seeing how Maga farmers, they have been going bankrupt. We have been seeing how white people, they have been losing their jobs, how majority of them, they cannot even afford basic necessity right now. With all the challenges and the struggle they are going through right now, we have been seeing majority of them, they are coming out and acknowledging that black people were right. Black people, they try to warn them, but these people, they didn't listen. So right now they are having a rude awakening. So kindly guys, I want you to watch this video and see some of the challenges and the struggle that they are facing in America. Then I'll be back with more comment at the end.
No. You voted for this. We warned you. We told you how bad it would be, and you wouldn't listen. So now live with it.
The Trump admin and ICE are not deporting hardworking illegal immigrants from farms and small businesses.
Well, you're obviously not going to take it from me. We've only been telling you a million fucking times now that yes, he is going after hardworking people, not just criminals. If you're not going to believe me, that's fine. I will give it to you from the horse's fucking mouth. Here you go. A Trump supporter himself, a man who voted for Donald Trump, who owns a business, had his whole fucking crew picked up and taken and deported, even though they were here legally. I'll roll the clip.
You voted for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did. They did everything right. And they all had their work permits. What I understood from what he has said and from what ICE officials have said, that is not at all what they're doing. And then all the representatives of them are stating the same thing. That's not what we're doing. We're going after the criminals. Well, what happened here?
For fuck's sake, Even the founder of Latinas for Trump, who worked tirelessly to get Donald Trump elected, came out and said, yo, this is not what I voted for. Granted, I would say that yes, Donald Trump screamed from the rooftops that this was exactly what he was going to do. But many people are waking up to the fact, even his own supporters, to know this man is not just deporting criminals, but rather going after hardworking families, people who are here legally, who are going to their court dates and picking them up and deporting them. And if you don't want to believe me, that's fine. But believe the people who voted for Donald Trump, your own people who are telling you this isn't right. Anyways, my name is Mercedes Chandler. Give me a follow or you won't see my face again. Thank you. Goodbye.
And you see what happens to their family. It's
Bottom line is the president has been very frustrated with negotiations with Brazil and also with the actions of Brazil. In the end, though, we're trying to put America first. I think that a lot of people, when I'm talking to negotiators from other countries, at some point they'll say, what did we do wrong? And what I'm trying to get, the message we're all trying to get across is this is about America getting itself ready for the golden age by getting our house in order, by getting our tariff and trade policy and tax policy exactly where it needs to be for a golden age.
I don't understand how you're saying it's about America, because the president has made it quite clear that what he's upset about is how the Brazilian Supreme Court has handled the criminal case involving former President Bolsonaro.
I'm agreeing with you. What I'm saying is that what I've been saying with most countries was that it's really about us getting the tariffs in order. And I think that this tariff for Brazil is a lot higher because of the president's frustration with Bolsonaro.
We have some news right now. Donald Trump has imposed 50% tariffs on Brazil. Why? Because he's upset that Brazil is going after its former president, Jair Bolsonaro, for inciting an insurrection. They exclude a number of things like aircraft parts and orange juice, but what they don't exclude is coffee, and Brazil is one of the largest exporters of coffee to the United States of America, which means your coffee prices are about to skyrocket. And they're going to skyrocket on August 6th as tariffs jack up prices of Brazilian coffee coming into the United States. And honestly, a 50% tariff would make it nearly impossible for some Brazilian exporters to even bring coffee into the United States, just given the complete cost of the entire process of getting it to the United States of America. Now, it's not the worst case scenario, as Brazil's finance minister says, because it excludes a number of things like orange juice, nuts, aircraft parts, and more. But at least coffee, that price is going to go up fast. So spread the word and follow along to update on all the news you need to know about. More to come soon.
President Trump has pledged a 50% tariff on all Brazilian imports, including coffee and orange juice. If it goes into effect on August 1st, industry experts say prices could rise for both consumers and suppliers. Now, Brazil is the top supplier of orange juice to the U.S. and one of the largest coffee exporters globally. With current droughts hurting harvests, the industry is already under pressure. The average price of a pound of coffee beans in May was $7.93, up from $5.99 last year, and analysts predict a further 25-cent increase per cup, though it may take months to kick in. Quality could also drop. Brazil's beans are considered higher grade than those from other regions like Vietnam, which may struggle to meet the growing demand of America's coffee needs. Brazil also supplies 90% of fresh OJ and 55% of frozen orange juice to the US, and without a trade deal, both countries could feel the squeeze. But what do you think? Are these tariffs going to hurt America's breakfast routine, or are they going to strengthen our economy? Let us know in the comments and follow us here for more.
Maga, let this be a lesson to you that you shouldn't let it get this far. It's already gone too fucking far. And here's the thing. You fucking people that are like, oh, I didn't vote for this. The fuck you didn't. You voted for this. You wanted this. But in the Republican world, and as a woman who worked in politics for 22 years, trust me, I fucking know Republican world. In a Republican world, if it doesn't happen to you or people that you love and respect, then it never happened. It's a lie. That's never happened. And that's the fucking problem. Republicans, you need to wake the fuck up. This is happening to people. Before it has to happen to you on a personal fucking level, I need you to wake the fuck up. I need you to see that this is happening outside your world, and that you're going to do something about it. I know it's very scary. It'll be very, very scary, but fucking do something about it. It's pathetic. It's pathetic as fuck. It's 2025. I should not have to talk to American citizens like this, but here I am. Here the fuck I am talking to you guys like this. Do better, be better, and your sky daddy's fucking disappointed in you.
I love a good FAFO moment, and boy, did this MAGA supporter have one. Vincent Scardina, a small business owner who has a roofing company in Key West, voted for Donald Trump this year. And then on May 27th, ICE swooped in and abducted 6 of his workers, a third of his workforce. He lamented about how difficult it is to hire new people in a small community unlike a big city. He said sometimes it even takes years to train them. He also shared a story of another person in the community who lost 9 out of his 10 landscaping employees, basically putting him out of business. All of the abducted employees of his were from Nicaragua, and they had valid work permits and no criminal records. Scardina even got emotional during the interview, saying that he considers many of these people his friends and has gotten to know their families. Talk about being out of touch with reality. Needless to say, he says he has some buyer's remorse.
Your coffee, it's gonna become 50% more expensive than what you're paying right now. And the reason behind it is because the president signed today into law 50% tariff against Brazil. And guess where the coffee's coming from? 35% of the coffee is being imported from Brazil. That is what we are importing. The beef, there is a 50% tariff against the beef. That means all those frozen burgers that we are bringing in and the frozen lamb and all that, it's gonna have 50% tariff. The steel is at 50%, but then who cares about the steel? I mean, it's not like we use it every day. But the good news is the orange juice, it is exempt from the tariff. Don't ask me why, we don't know. The United States does import a lot of orange juice from Brazil, but I don't know why that was. I guess because everybody drinks it in the morning and it's more like, you know, it's supposed to be like your bread, your butter kind of type of food. So that's where we are dealing with today. So, and that is going to take effect on August 1st. So all this cargo that it's already on the water is going to get hit by 50% as soon as it arrives into the United States. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't deviate from paying the duties and the tariff. The only way to go around it is to reroute your shipments to Mexico or to Canada until you find a solution, or to put it in a specific type of warehouse until you figure out what to do. Most of our customers today were really worried about what they're gonna do with the product that is coming in here. Their customers are not they're not wanting to pay the 50% tariff. They're basically saying it's their problem as exporters and from Brazil, I mean. So now this is the whole entire issue. I have one customer, he has about 4 containers on the water, and guess what? His customer just canceled the entire order. So that's the news of the day. I guess it's another day in logistics. So yep, that's what we're gonna talk about it for the entire week. Hopefully we can help these people out and see what we can do with it. So cheers.
I have some bad news for you. Trump's 50% tariffs on Brazil are going to make your coffee more expensive. And coffee inflation has already been in the double digits this year. That's because Brazil is the United States' largest coffee supplier. The US could find other sources, but that will take time Americans aren't willing to give. People want their coffee right now. What's worse, this goes into effect as soon as August 1st, unless Trump makes another taco U-turn. But this time, it's not about trade, it's about punishment, and that's according to Trump himself. Here's the truth. The US has a surplus with Brazil. By Liberation Day logic, Brazil should be the one imposing a tax. If you want more charts like these, sign up for John Author's free newsletter at the link in our bio.
Friends, we do have some extreme breaking news. Trump just slapped a 50% tariff on Brazil. So does that mean coffee prices will explode? So this is the 50% tariff on Brazilian goods effective August. And coffee is not excluded. As you know, Brazil is a huge supplier of U.S. coffee. Experts already warn that prices are already skyrocketing. Some coffee companies say their exposure is limited, but overall inflation and supply chain scrambles are already in motion. Now, why is he doing this, you may ask? He says it's about Brazil getting too cozy with China. As you guys know, Brazil joined BRICS Plus, signed a bunch of commodity deals with Beijing, and they've already announced they're ditching the U.S. dollar. Trump says Brazil is undermining U.S. markets and hurting American farmers by flooding us with cheap imports. Not just coffee, but beef, soy, and more, he says. But here's the twist. The U.S. doesn't even grow coffee in large amounts. This is more about political messaging, rather than protecting American coffee. Trump's also using this as a way to fire up his own base, saying it's a part of America's first plan. Just like the China trade war we've all been seeing, now it's Brazil's turn. Bottom line, your coffee is definitely about to cost more. This is real, and it starts in August.
Brazil's president told Trump off. Now Trump is punishing him by making Americans pay higher prices. Trump enacted a 50% tariff on all Brazilian products, even though the U.S. has a trade surplus with Brazil, and even though Brazil grows over a third of America's coffee and 2/3 of its orange juice. And there's more about Trump and tariffs at culturalperspective.com. So follow along here. Trump and the world are a cultural mismatch. The world thinks in partnerships and Trump thinks in punishments. But because Trump can't punish other countries, he doesn't have control over them, he punishes Americans, in this case with higher prices. But it has minimal effect on Brazil because only 16% of Brazilian coffee goes to the United States. But the United States imports 35% of its coffee from Brazil. It's even worse with orange juice because the United States imports 65% of its orange juice from Brazil. Now, Brazil is more dependent on the United States with orange juice because it exports about 35% of its crop to the US. Still, the balance is in favor of Brazil, and it's not like there aren't high tariffs on other countries that are exporting orange juice and coffee to the United States. So what will happen is happening. Countries will stop exporting to the United States. Prices will rise because the supply is less, and on top of already higher prices from the tariffs. How does this punish Brazil? I have no idea, and neither does Trump.
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm a coffee importer, and I want to take a moment to tell you a little bit about how the Brazil tariffs are going to impact coffee imports. So first, just real quick, a little background. I've been in importing for about 7 years and coffee for about 15. Let's get into Brazil. So August 1st, new tariffs were announced, and it's pretty confusing. So I wanted to tell you just really quickly how the tariffs are going to work when coffee comes into the United States. Brazil produces 30% of the coffee that the United States imports. It's not a supply chain that can be replaced. The United States consumes 3.6 billion pounds of coffee each year, and we can only produce 20 million pounds of coffee. So that's a really big gap that we have to fill. Brazil is also a really unique country in that Brazil cost of production of coffee is really low because of unique climate and topography. It allows coffee to be mechanically processed or mechanically harvested, and so it's pretty inexpensive to grow and harvest coffee in Brazil. For that reason, it is the base of most things. Any blend that you see, any espresso that gets used, it's usually based on Brazil. So when we're bringing coffee in from Brazil, here's how it's going to work. These are tariffs. There is not a single penny that's going to be paid by the exporting country. I don't care what the government says, not a penny will be paid by the exporting country. The importer in the United States is going to bring that container of coffee, so that box of coffee over from Brazil. It's going to go to the port, at which point it's going to go through customs. At the point that it goes through customs, it's going to be, like, we have to file customs paperwork, and we have to identify we have a customs broker who identifies all of the different fees and regulations that are applicable to this coffee. So Brazilian coffee is going to be hit by the code 9903.01.77. That's a 40% tariff that comes from the recent executive order that was put forward about a month ago. And it's also going to be hit by 9903.02.09, which is the 10% tariff that was announced last night. All of the tariff codes stack, so that comes out to being a 50% tariff. And that's 50% based on whatever the value was labeled in the customs paperwork. So if it gets labeled that the value of that a pound of Brazilian coffee is $4, then it's going to be an additional $2 in tariff. That fee has to be paid up front by the importer before customs will release the coffee. So it's not like we can sell it and then take that money and use it to pay for the tariff. Like you would, if you were roasting coffee, right? You could sell it and then you could pay your bill, and that's kind of how things work. It doesn't work that way with tariffs. We need to pay that up front before we can release the coffee. And if we don't pay it, it's going to accumulate additional fees for being held and stored. So it has to get paid. And because these tariffs have been so unpredictable, nobody's got cash laying around, and we certainly don't have an extra 40, 60. I think on our last container of Brazil, we would be looking at like $100,000 in tariff costs if that comes through. So nobody's got that laying around, nobody. So you have to go to a bank and get that money financed. So additionally, on top of paying the 50% tariffs, you're also going to be paying 12% interest, 6% interest, whatever. You're going to be paying interest on that money. So that is an additional cost that we have to be paying on top of the tariff rate. So banks are making a lot of money off of this because everybody's got to go out and get financing. And then all of that money is going to the US government. To give you a little bit of perspective, when we import coffee and we sell it, we make a 10% margin. That means that with every single coffee we bring in, right now the federal government makes more money than we do on the products that we sell. So they're making bank off of us. And where's that money going? It's going to the new budget that was just authorized and voted on and approved. If you pay attention, there are 10 years of tariff rates that are added into that budget, which means they are not going to be reducing tariff rates. They're not dealing. The only negotiation that's happening is with the American people to try to negotiate our money out from our pockets. So the government's taking the money. You're not getting it as a rebate check. You're not going to get it to pay down debt. It has already been allocated in the budget to pay for the tax cuts, to pay for the increase in spending to ICE. That's where it's going for. It's going for all of these different things, but it's not coming back to you. So when we say tariffs are a tax, this is what we're talking about. Instead of tax income in the budget, they use tariff income. Every single penny of it's coming from the American consumer. We've got the receipts to back it up. And that's how tariffs work. That's how Brazil's going to work until coffee either gets exempted or until coffee, until these tariffs, until somebody comes to their senses and these tariffs get pulled back. That's it. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. I'll try to answer.
We have big news right now. Your coffee prices are about to skyrocket in the United States of America because of one thing: Donald Trump's tariffs on Brazil. He announced earlier this week 50% tariffs on Brazil, but we're learning more about the impacts of these tariffs specifically on the coffee sector. If you didn't know, Brazil imports more green coffee beans than any other country in the world to the United States, or rather exports, sorry. In addition, Brazil's coffee beans account for about a third of the coffee supply coming into the United States. That's according to Reuters. Because of that, 50% tariffs will make it very difficult for Brazilian exports to come in. It will make it impossible at the current price, but it'll make it very difficult just generally, placing a strain on the coffee supply coming into the United States, which means that starting on August 1st, coffee prices across the country will go up. And it'll impact not just the Brazilian coffee that's coming in, but also coffee from other countries across South America. So we're going to see what happens next. Spread the word. I'll have a full breakdown of this and more on my Substack, linked in bio, so subscribe for free. And as always, follow along for more.
So guys, I hope you have watched that video and you have seen how white Americans or the Maga people, they are suffering right now in America. We have been seeing how their farmers, the Maga farmers or white farmers, they have been going bankrupt, and also majority of them, they are now losing their farms. They are now deciding to sell their farms And also we have been seeing how the majority of white Americans, they cannot even afford basic necessity. We have been seeing how government it has been ending their benefit. We saw the SNAP benefit ended, and also the Medicare also the Republicans the other day voted to crash the big beautiful bill. And this big beautiful bill also, it was helping those people who are getting low income. It was helping, it was catering and helping them with their Medicare. But right now Americans, they are really suffering. And also we have been seeing how the cost of living, it is very high. We have been seeing how the prices of grocery, how it has been going up. And also you have heard what the Americans in the video, they have come out and say how economy it is right now. So these people right now, they are now coming out and realize that whatever black people they told them, it is to black people they came out and warned them not to vote for this administration. But these people, they didn't want to listen. These people, they thought they saw that black people, these black people, they want them to vote for Kamala Harris simply because he is black, she's black. And also these people, they saw agenda. They didn't want to vote for a woman. So this means that these people, they were racist people. They didn't care what Donald Trump is coming to do in office, but all they care is they have not go ahead and vote for a black person and also for a woman. So because of that, majority of them right now, they are realizing that they did a mistake. Instead of voting for this administration, they should vote for Kamala Harris. But right now you can see these people now, they are regretting. They are now coming out and realizing to their face, and they are now also coming out and say that black people, they were all right. Because right now you can see these people right now, whatever they are going through, black people, they saw it. Black people, they saw it and they tried to warn them, but these people, they didn't listen. So right now these people, they thought that after voting for Donald Trump administration, Donald Trump, he was only interested with immigrant people and the people of the color. And also Donald Trump policy will not punish them. Donald Trump policy will only punish the minority group or the black people or people of the color. So right now we can see Donald Trump policy, it is punishing each and everyone in America. So he doesn't care if you are black, if you are white, if you are brown. So Donald Trump policy, it is punishing each and everyone. And that's why you have been seeing how white Americans, they have been coming out crying, because these people, they are not used to it, to this. You know, right now we are seeing black Americans, they are not crying simply because black Americans, they have been going through this for over 500 years. And black Americans, they know how to thrive. Although even if the system, it is not favoring them, or even if the economy, it is not good, but black Americans, you can see they will find a way and they will succeed and they will thrive. But for these white people, they don't know how to thrive in a hard economy, in a hard situation. And that's why you can see majority of them right now, they are really crying. You can imagine black people that have been going through this for over 500 years, and they're still doing very good. They are still doing okay. But for these white people, you can see it is just it is not even 5 years, but these people, they have started to complain. You can see these people, they are now feeling the pain. You can imagine how these people, they are crying. If at all, if these people, they need to go like this for a period of 500 years, like how black Americans have been going through, these people, they could leave America, they could suffer and leave America. But you can see, this is tell you that black Americans, they have been really suffering in America, and it has reached to a point whereby also God has come through for the black people. And God is also, I think God is using Donald Trump to punish these American, especially the white Americans, simply because these people that have been voting to punish black people for a very long time. These people that have been voting against their own interests. These people that have been voting for racism. But this time round, God came through for black people, and the they voted to punish black people, but you can see right now they are also being punished. So God wants them also to go through the same challenges and the problem that black Americans have been facing, so that they can know voting against your own interest, it is not good. Voting to punish others, it is not also good. So whatever right now they are going through is the punishment that God is giving them, and God wants them to learn, so that next time these people, they should not vote to punish black people. They should not vote to punish other people, because you can vote to punish other people, but it might come to you. And also, we have been seeing how America economy it is, especially to the tourist area. We have been seeing majority of people that have been avoiding to go to America, and that one also it has led also the economy of America to go down, because Americans, they usually collect a lot of money in the tourism area. Yeah, Americans, they usually collect a lot of billions of money in the tourist area. But this time round, we are seeing Americans, they are losing a lot of money simply because of how ICE it is treating immigrant people, how ICE it is detaining immigrant people, how ICE they are deporting immigrant people back to their country without nothing. Because of that, the whole world it is watching, and majority of the countries also, they have also trying to warn their citizens not to go to America. Right now, America it is not safe, and also majority of tourists they are not going to America. We have been seeing the places in America like Las Vegas, like Florida. These places right now they are empty. You can see the American airport, it is empty. Simply, this is to tell you that people they are avoiding to go to America right now, because of how America it is right now, how ICE they are detaining people, how America they are treating people immigrant people in their country. It has made majority of people not to visit America. I'm wondering this Christmas, America they are going to lose a lot, because I've been seeing people that have decided to go to other country to have experience with other country, but not America. So this tell you that these MAGA people, the MAGA people right now, they are having a rude awakening, and if they could have listened to what black Americans they have told them not to vote for this administration, right now America it could be safe, it could be good. But right now America it is falling. I don't want to lie to you, America it is falling, and these people they will not easily recover from the hands of Donald Trump. So kindly guys, you can also share your thoughts on the comment section. I'll be reading it in my next video. So thank you so much guys. Subscribe if you haven't, like this video, share, and also comment. And remember guys, we are heading to 100,000 subscribers. Kindly subscribe so that we can reach 100,000 subscribers. See you on my next one guys. Bye bye.